Howdy everyone, this is Mopbot, this is the Asgaard SMP Season 2, and welcome back to episode number 6. We are standing here in front of this beautiful pagoda that we worked on in last episode. Take a look at this. This thing is pretty neat. We have tucked the villager breeder on inside here, and I'm super happy with how this looks. If we take a peek on in here, you can check this out in last week's video, but we have the villager breeder up there that drops the babies down into this tube here. We can hit this button with the minecarts to shoot them out the back, and then people can just hook their own minecarts up to it, take it off to wherever they'd like, and do with them what they please. And then you can walk right on up here to give them their initial food so they start breeding. Pretty sweet stuff. So like I said, go back to last week's video, go ahead and check that out and give that a watch. Along with that, we've done a few other things around spawn here. We've got this path that previously just ended straight up at the iron farm, but we have extended that now, and if we come on right through this gate, this goes out the back here, goes off to the left, and we've got some road signs here to tell us what's all where. So we've got the town off in that direction. This is the actual world spawn point, so you spawn, you have the iron farm right here, and if you turn around, there is the pagoda, which is so cool. I love seeing that from over here. And then you have that confirmation with that sign here, and there is a mob grinder off in this direction, which we did not build, but we did, however, build the path over to it. So there's a couple of these Torii gates sticking in with the theme that we've been going on with over here at the spawn area, and it comes right way to the end here, and then we can use this portal up, and then we have this mob grinder up here, which is pretty sweet. And we've been using that to get enough gunpowder to build up some rockets. In the future, we'll probably want to build something a little bit more permanent, at least for creepers, that is, because yeah, we're gonna need a lot of them with what we have planned for our mega base, which I want to be starting in today's episode, because in last episode we finished off this staircase, or at least mostly finished off this staircase that leads up to the path that's going to go on out there. So there's going to be a couple different stages to this, and if we come through this tunnel, we're going to start off with a bridge here. We're not going to build that in today's episode, but what I do want to start doing is planning out what's going to happen with everything else, because if we come over here, we have claimed this whole mountain, and this has a pretty cool feature to it. It's just like over at spawn, where if we peek right over the edge, we've got a big crater, and I've got some pretty cool ideas with what we can do with that. So for now, I actually want to jump over to a single player world so we can talk about just what this is going to look like. So this is a brand new copy of the same world. I am over here in single player, and this is obviously the spawn area. This is the Cherry Grove ring that we have going around here. So like our house would be like right there, which means that if we turn around here, there's our bridge that would go back to where we want to build our base. And here is the same ring that we were just looking at. Now I do have, apparently I'm in spectator mode here. I do have night vision turned on because this is going to get very dark very fast, especially with the shaders on it. Ooh, improved render distance makes for some really cool views. Take a look at that. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, okay. There's like another thing going on over there. All right. I actually don't think I've explored in that direction. Anyway, getting distracted here. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a wand using a world edit. And to start, I just want to select everything that's in this crater. So I think we could probably say the crater ends right around here. I would say that's about the top of the loop. So I just want to make sure I get that all in on both sides. So probably right about here. And I'm going to, let's see, let's grab some glowstones just so we can mark this out here. This video is going to be very much just kind of me messing around and seeing what I can do with world edit to kind of plan this out to begin with. Now I think we want to go to about this height. There we go, and let's just set our first position right there. And now we need to do something a little bit more challenging and set our second position. So we need to make sure that we encapsulate this entire thing here, which means that we now need to go over to this corner, and this is probably, I would say this counts as part of it. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if we like it. We'll include it to begin with just in case. But then over this way, I would say it goes to about there maybe. So let's start right here. And now we need to go down a lot. So I can do /TP and same X value. Let's go down. What should we go down? 75 blocks? Maybe that's a good amount. That might be too far. We'll see. And then same Z value. So now if I do that, of course we are stuck in stone, but I can use free cam to get out of this. and we can see that I am trapped down there. Where is our crater? That is over here. Okay, so is that going to be low enough? Does that catch the whole crater? I would say the bottom of the crater is right around here. So if we look in, that's actually really good. I'm really happy with that position. Okay, first go, that works for me. So I'm just going to say / pause 2, and that's gonna set my second position to where we are right now, okay? I'm gonna undo that, that TP now. So instead of going down 75, let's go back up 75, and we're right back up here where we started. Let's put that block back. So now we have our position 1 over there, we have position 2 down in that ground, and then I should just be able to / replace all solid blocks. So that's going to be, actually it's going to be everything that's not solid. So it'll be not solid, and let's just use white wool. This is going to take a moment. 500,000 blocks. Okay, casually placing 500,000. All right, so there we go. We have our region selected now. Or we have our region filled, rather. And you can see, obviously, this goes out a little bit further on the edges. We're going to deal with that. No biggie. And this is pretty big, but now we've filled our hole. And, oh boy, we've killed all of the mobs. Oh, no. And, oh, yeah, that's sheep's wool. Okay. Well, that's tragic, but that had to happen. Okay. So now we should just be able to look straight up and then go, I think we can go /move. We have to make it a mask, right? Maybe not. White wool 150? Is this gonna work? No. / move, then the amount of blocks, and then we're a pro, I promise. So the amount of blocks, and then the mask. So we need to give it that M parameter, and then it should just be any white wool. And this should lag for a moment. There's that same 500,000 blocks. Okay, cool. So now we've just removed this. Look at all the dirt. Oh, that's so funny. That happened so fast. But anyway, here's our big construct now. And realistically, I don't want this to be sitting that high up in the air. So let's actually undo that. It should jump right back down. Again, there's going to be some lag. Oof. And let's just go half of that. Let's look back up again so that we choose that direction. And instead of 150, 1, 2, 3, let's make it 75. And now it's only going to go up half of what it did before. So our 500,000 blocks have been moved. Oh, okay. I thought I was lagging. I just wasn't looking in the right spot. And that looks like it's going to be a really good height. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, of course, we do have all of these extra bits that are from like the caverns around it and whatnot. And then we do have to deal with how we have these sharp edges along the outside. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 blocks. Let's grab another tool. I'm just going to, let's grab another right sword. Let's make it clear. And then we should just be able to do brush. I can't spell brush right, though. So brush, and then is there a... Is it deform? No, there is. It's erode right here. And 6. Okay, hopefully that was correct. And now we should be able to just like start removing stuff here. Yeah, that's not bad. This is going to be kind of slow though. There's probably a better way to do this. Why don't I grab a second sword? And I'm actually just going to say /brush sphere air, and then a radius of 6. Oh, that's so much faster. So now we basically just have like an eraser, and we can just go through and start removing all of these extra bits. That other brush, however, that's bound to... I missed. That happens. No biggie. We don't need that area out there anyway. But we will be able to utilize the other brush still that is bound to the netherite sword in order to smooth out all the terrain once this is gone. So I just need to come around here and clear all of these bits up right now. Okay, so here we go. You can actually see there are some circles from removing everything around there, but we have a completely freestanding object now. We do, however, need to do something about how this is so squared off and it's not super smooth. So that's what we're going to use this erode brush that we created earlier for. So now I can kind of just start cutting back on these, and this should make it so much smoother. Okay, and I keep missing and hitting into the air. That's why the error message is popping up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Now I can just kind of push it back and make something that's hopefully a little bit more natural looking. So like that, I felt like that was sticking out too far. I think something that's important for me to remember here is that this doesn't need to be a perfect cast or a perfect mold that was like cast from the hole beneath it. It just needs to be close. It needs to look like it still came from it. But again, it doesn't need to be perfect. And I think clearing away some of these random bits is just going to make it look better, even though it's going to make it further off of that sort of true shape. Also, that's really handy that I can reach so far with these brushes, and I don't have to be within like normal block placing distance or anything, because I can just kind of cruise through here and just keep on clicking where I feel like it's not super smooth. And I think there is also a smoothing brush, which I might have to play with. We'll see. I think in my, if I remember correctly, the last time I used it, it was not exactly what I expected it to be. But yeah, now if I just kind of cruise through here, we should get something that basically just looks like a big boulder floating in the air. This one's going to take a while. Oh boy. That'll certainly do for me. Now we do need to start texturing this thing up, because right now a big floating white block in the sky is not exactly what we were going for. So I'm going to reclaim my selection here, because previously it was down in the ground. I think there might actually be a way to keep your selection with your object when you move it. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure I feel like that was a thing at some point, but I don't remember how to do that. So we're going to set position 1 up here. I'm not going to bother using the 1. Let's just go like that. Okay, and then we need to go to the opposite corner, and we need to select position 2 over there. And this thing is massive. This is like a Death Star size. This is absolutely crazy. If we come on over here, it looks like we're probably finishing right around here-ish. Okay, that works. So let's make sure we're all the way on the outside on this, and then all the way on the outside over here. That's cool. All right, so we should be having everything in there. We're under it. That's great. So let's go position 2. You can see all these undos. I did try the smoothing brush. I was not happy with it. So now we have 2 positions, and now we can run a replace command where let's just replace all of the white wool with probably not a solid block. Let's go 50%. Let's see, we want darker blocks probably, right? Let's try this out. Cobbled deep slate. And there we go. And then let's go 25% stone and 25% cobblestone. So then it's like half and half between, like that. There we go. Then it's like half and half between the darker blocks and the lighter blocks. This should be pretty cool. Is that just gonna work? Yeah. Okay. Oh, we missed a few blocks. Okay. Well, undo. That looks so much better. Okay. So let's fly around this thing real quick. Let's make sure that we got everything. Let's grab another tool here now, Diamond Sword, and let's attach a brush to this. Now in this case, I want it to be darker toward the bottom, but I want it to look more overgrown and like green toward the top. So in this case, I want to go slash brush. We want a sphere, and we are again going to give it a pattern. So I think in this case it should be, let's try 50%. So let's use mossy cobblestone, and then let's go 25% moss block. Okay, and then the last 25%, we need another probably stone variant. So let's in this case go with mossy stone bricks, plural. There we go. And we want a radius of 6. Okay, cool. So now if we go to undo, that was wrong. We need one more step in here. We need to mask anything that is solid, so it doesn't just build the spheres, it just replaces the blocks that are already there in a spherical pattern. So let's mask solid. Okay, this is so much better. Okay, so all the blocks that are further out are going to receive this green color to make it look a little bit more natural, and then the blocks that are recessed more are going to maintain that stone color, and then that should give it a little bit more of a natural feel, like it is actually grass growing over a big stone block. So let's go ahead and just run around here and finish all this off. And that's starting to look really, really cool. I love how that looks, but we can do a little bit more, because if we come up into the air here and we look down, now as cool as that looks, I would much rather have a grassy look on top. That is what I'm going for, but I do want it to be dark, so we're going to use a mixture of the moss and some grass. And in order to do that, I think there's a command for this. I'm going to try this out, and we'll see. If this, I guess if this stays in there, it's good. Otherwise, it's getting cut. But we need to set position 1, probably like, let's just set it right over here. That should get everything in there. And then I need to make sure it's at the correct height. So we're just going to give that a shot. Position 1 right here. And then we're going to go back to the other side. Oh yeah, this should be the perfect height. And wow, does this look cool. Big, expansive block of stone. And let's set position 2 over here. So / pause 2. And now I think the overlay command will allow us to place blocks on top of anything that is solid. Otherwise, we'll just have to do a fill with a mask. And we can overlay 50% moss block, 50% there we go, grass block. That should work. And just rip it? No. that totally did not work. Aha! I had to move my position down and then try it again. That worked. Now, is this what we are looking for? That grass block color is pretty bright, but I don't hate it. You know, I think this is pretty cool. Does this look like a big floating chunk of land, or does it just look like layers of stone in a very programmatic way? You know what? I'm pretty pleased with that. I think especially because we have a texture pack that allows us to place moss carpet down the side of blocks too. Like this, it kind of drips down. And I think if we kind of run around here and do that along all of these outsides, that it's gonna end up looking really cool. Oh yeah, I think that is absolutely the move. I think that's good. I think that's good. We are going to do probably some more with it. We'll probably like drip some vines and grab some dripstone maybe and just kind of mix some different things in there like that. But now we have to do some trickery to start collecting all of the blocks that we're going to need for this, because it is going to be absolutely insane. And now with that all done, we can come over here to Lightmatica. We can edit this area, move our first corner to where I'm currently sitting. Hopefully that worked. I should have a block or something here. And you know what? I think I have it disabled. I do. There we go. And this is going to look very odd in shaders, but I don't even know where it goes to. Does it go all the way to spawn? It probably does. Okay, well, it's really hard to see in shaders from the outside, but let's fly through here. Let's go back down to this other corner. So that's going to be like, oh, there's that one random block, you know, I keep seeing these things. I think this is something that is just going to have to kind of be what it is for now. Like I said, I don't want to go through here and hit every block. But anyway, okay. Distracted. Let's come back over here, and we are lined up along this edge and roughly that edge. And then we started at the top over there, so we need to come down to the bottom over here. Right about here should be good. Make sure that we get even those bottom blocks in there. Okay, right there. Let's reopen this. Let's go to the area editor and set position 2 right here. Now you'll see that we probably don't need to capture all this extra stuff at the bottom. So let's move this up a little bit. We can go to the area editor, and then position 2, we can take the Y, and we can just left click to increase it up until we, of course, it's right in front of what I need to see. Keep going, and then, okay, down, oh, that was wrong. Down 1. Okay, so does that look good? Do we have all of these blocks in there? I think this is the lowest block. I am currently hitting my head on it, so it looks like that's actually going to be okay. You know, having that extra block of air underneath is totally fine. I just don't want to have any like extra blocks in there, like, you know, like the trees and whatnot, and I really don't need to be missing any blocks. So this side is all good. We can, this is so trippy to look at, and that side is good. It's like it's existing in its own little world here. And then we can come around here. That's good. That's fine. Anyway, distracted, like I said. And then come around here and we will see that hopefully that is also good. And then we don't have a ton of air on top either. Okay, so this is now all blocked off. So we can go hit M and go to area editor. Well, let's give this a name. I'm just going to call this floating island. Set. Okay, it's going to create the subregion that is the same, and then if I hit save schematic, it's going to give it the same name right there. We can ignore entities if there is anything still floating around in there, and visible blocks only, support block, that's all probably fine. There's the pagoda that we worked on in the last episode, and I don't actually know what this setting does, but I'm just going to leave that as is for now. Okay, save schematic, and now we have floating island. So now, if we hop back over to the world, we should be able to import it. And that looks like a pretty good placement to me. Now, of course, it is like this big, bright, glowing ghost, but that's going to show us how to place every block so we know what all needs to go where. And yeah, even if we get close, it's still going to look like that. Now, typically when I do these, I actually disable, let me get out of free cam as well. I typically disable shaders when I'm doing this because it is much easier to see that way. But what's also really handy about this mod is that we can go back into here, we can go to placements and hit configure on this one. And if we come down to the bottom here, there's this material list. And if I hit that, that tells me how much of everything I'm going to need. It even tells you how much is available in your inventory and how much more you're going to need on top of that. So very good setup. I absolutely love using this thing, and there's really not that many blocks, right? I mean, it's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 different variants of blocks and then some moss carpets, which is totally not that bad. If you hover over it, it tells you how many stacks. So for instance, moss carpets, I need 4 stacks plus 19. Cobble deep state's gonna be the problem. That's so much. It is 193,000. That's 3,025 stacks. And a very quick addendum to those numbers from before. I have realized that this thing is actually solid. We never hollowed this thing out. So if we take a peek in here, yeah, these are all solid blocks. I am in spectator mode right now, so we can see that. But if I run / hollow, now we have a wide open area. And if we recreate this schematic now, if we hit M, and let's make sure that our rendering is turned on. Beautiful. Let's come on in here. And let's go back to this, and we can go to area editor, floating island, set, and that's good. Save. I think we can overwrite the existing one. Failed to write. Okay, floating. Okay, well, floating item 2. Save schematic, and now it is good. So now if we go ahead and open this up here, so we're going to have to load floating island 2. Do not create a placement. And then, actually, we can just see the materials list from here. That's even better. So there are our proper numbers. That is so much better. 35,000 items instead of 500,000 is much more obtainable. Anyway, this has pretty much just been a tutorial on how to use World Edit and Lightmatica. But this has been the episode, and I look so much forward to doing all of this work. It's just going to be absolutely crazy. I've got lots of resource gathering to do now, so it might be a little bit in between episodes, but this one should have come out pretty soon after the previous one because it was pretty much just sit and go, and there wasn't really a whole lot of progress made in-game. But anyway, hopefully y'all have enjoyed. Go and subscribe for more, and I'll see y'all next time.